In this tutorial for the Notary eJournal, we're going to be discussing offline functionality of the app. We get this question a lot pertaining to how the app operates offline. Does it operate when in an offline state? And this is a major discussion point for people who do signings and notarizations in rural areas where you might not have service and you want to make sure you still have the ability to properly complete your Notary eJournal. So let's dig right into it. The way offline functionality works with our app is that you have 12 hours from your most recent point of authentication with the server, and that means a successful sign-on, in order to continue using the app while in an offline state. So to show you what that looks like, the moment I log into my app and I'm successfully logged in, typically it's going to happen 99% of the time that you do have service, whether it's Wi-Fi or cell service. That is considered a successful authentication. So in order to test how the app operates and functions while offline, I'm going to turn on airplane mode, which will turn off Wi-Fi as well. And I'm going to go right back into the app, so here I am. Now, the app's going to still allow me to function within it. I can still complete my Notary eJournal entry. It's just going to give me some warnings. So if you see here, I'm going to click around for a moment. I'm going to get the app to realize that it is no longer connected to the server. And when it does so, it's going to flag me and tell me that I'm not connected. So if I try to reconnect, of course, that won't work either. Now, that's one of the first prompts that tells you, hey, I don't have service. Notice though, of course, I did not get booted from the app. I can still start a new entry. Of course, things that require service will not work, such as detect current location. I cannot detect my current location if I don't have any service at all, so I'll just have to manually enter in the address here. That's not a problem. I'm still able to save my drafts. I'm going to add new signers here. So we're walking you through it so you see exactly how it works. I'm just going to do a personally known here so it's faster. I'm going to be able to add the documents and all the information still. I can capture their signatures. If I needed to capture their thumbprints, I would. I can go to the review step, all while offline, and I can complete that draft. Now, the prompt will tell you that this has been marked as complete, but it was unable to be uploaded to the servers. This is important because the completed timestamp, the timestamp that just happened, is what we use to make your Notary eJournal sequential. So you have to make sure that you get to the end and mark it as complete in order for your journal to stay sequential. Now, how does that look when I go back to the home page? I now see that I have a draft at the top marked as complete. Now, we mark drafts with this light blue color as opposed to the all white color that you see down from June 23rd and June 7th. And this way, when you go into your journal, you see right away if you have anything that needs to be uploaded. You can also use the indicator on the top right. That's the cloud icon. And this tells you anything that you have offline that currently needs to be synced. So, of course, this right here needs to be synced. So we can open this up. And if I was connected to service, I'd be able to upload it. Now, I'll show you how that looks. I'll turn off airplane mode. And I'll give the app just a moment, and then I'll hit tap to retry. And that way it'll reconnect to the internet. Now the flag has gone away. And now if I go into this completed draft, I can now upload it. The most important thing to note when it comes to the offline functionality is that if you are completely logged out, you will not be able to log in while in an offline state. Just because the app has offline functionality does not mean that you'll be able to authenticate with the server and sign in while in an offline state. And that is very, very important to remember. This is for data security, for privacy, for a million very, very good reasons why you cannot actually sign in without server authentication. When you send the app to the background while in an offline state, and then you go back into it, we do give you a running clock, if you will, or we give you the time in which you still have access to the app while in an offline state. I'll show you how that looks. I go back into airplane mode while offline. I wait for just a moment so it realizes, hey, we're not connected. If I send the app to the background and I open that app back up, it's going to ask me for my password, of course. And now we have that indicator at the very top that says your session in the app will only be valid until, and the time they give you is going to be 12 hours from your most recent point of authentication. And that way you see it. So the best way for users to make sure they don't encounter any issues whatsoever, especially if you know you'll be in a rural area for a notarization later in the day, just make sure you log in while you're at home before you leave for that signing, or at any point while you have connectivity beforehand. And then head over to that signing, and if you get there with no service, you'll open up the app and this is what you'll see, and you'll be able to operate it in a completely normal fashion.